Hello once again. This is Brother Teacher. I'm sure that all or most of you have heard the terrible, horrific news about another mass shooting here in America just yesterday in Uvaldi, Texas, at Robb Elementary School. Yes, I said elementary school. The perpetrator of this heinous act, at least his first name is Salvador, 18-year-old. It was said and alleged that he killed his grandmother before he drove to the elementary school, where he had an initial confrontation with a police officer or so before he entered the school, and he shot the officer. I don't know if he's in critical condition or if he's deceased, but he entered the school, and it's also said that he barricaded himself inside of one of the classrooms where there were children, and he meticulously began to execute children. And these children were second, third, and fourth graders. So according to the last report that I watched, approximately 18 children were murdered by Salvador and 3 adults. It's hard responding behind something like this. I'm not the type of individual that treats this as if it were just some casual conversation or barbershop talk on the block. I do things such as this video to make you aware and to remind you of the world that we live in. If you've been following me for any length of time on this platform, you've listened to my videos, and I've talked about this subject before, even in recent months and even weeks. Just a couple weeks ago, we had a mass shooting in New York. Another individual killed 10 people at a grocery store, 9 of which were black that got killed. And this was a hate crime. This was an individual that was targeting blacks because he had already made reference to it before he did it. That's one incident of many in recent months. But today, I actually heard yesterday, to hear that someone else, 18 years old, for whatever reason, his reason would go to an elementary school and execute children. I hear people talking about legislation as far as guns are concerned, and this bill and that bill, and stricter gun laws and restrictions. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sitting here speaking to you as a man to you, you cannot legislate racism and hatred. I don't care how much paperwork you put into law. I don't care how many rules and restrictions and regulations you make. Bad people are still going to have access to guns. Before any legislation ever came into existence about guns, bad people had guns. Gang members had guns. Unscrupulous individuals had guns. Evil men and women had guns. How do you stop that? It happens every single day in America and the world. Someone has access to a gun. And you can call it a legal gun or an illegal gun. They still have access to a gun. And understand this. Everybody is in the world. There's no way that you can read a person's mind and intent. Remember the old expression, guns don't kill people, people kill people. So why do people kill people? Because something's going on up here. What can you do about that? How can you change how someone thinks and or feels about you or another human being? You don't know who that individual is. Case in point, a couple weeks ago here in my neighborhood where my business and my home is, police were summoned to a restaurant across the street from me. 2 minutes across the street, where a young man was upset about a refund or a food credit. He came to the local restaurant. He was refused that credit because the manager that took care of him the day before, whenever it was not there. He got angry. He came back and shot the window of the restaurant out with a crossbow. And the arrow, according to one of my friends who works there, who was there when it occurred, the arrow went through 2 panes of thick glass, industrial glass, and then stuck in a wall by the bathroom. That's powerful. That thing could take down an elephant. Fortunately, no one was injured or killed. But ladies and gentlemen, over a sandwich. Again, these people live amongst us. There's no way to vet them. There's no way to separate them because you don't know who they are. So you can make all of the gun rules in the world. People use hammers. They use knives. And as we have just discovered, they use crossbows. Anything is a weapon and can be used as a weapon. So what is the real problem? It is the policing, not of the people, but family members policing their own family members. All of these incidents that occur are the direct result of someone who's unstable in their minds. They're emotionally disturbed. I say, as I've always said, in most instances, not all, but the majority of instances, it is poor parenting that produces these types of individuals. I'm sorry. Poor parenting. People who don't know how to parent, how to raise a child, who don't give that child what that child really needs to function in this world. And the other percentage are the people who walk and toe the line the way that things should be. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. And I use this example again, and I tell people this on a regular basis. How is it? How is it? If you parent properly, that this baby that's in your hands right now, after that baby is born, how do you lose control over that child as it's developing to the point where that child snaps, if you will, and kills an individual or multiple people? How does that happen? I mean, they were here in your hands. You had total control over that child. You fed it, you housed it, you clothed it. And now, years later, he or she is a mass murderer. How does that happen? The parent lost control over that child at some point during their lives, and that child just lost it. That's it. Really. That's the answer. Discipline on every level starts in the home. You don't wait till a child grows up as a teenager, preteen, teenager, and a young adult to try to change them, because their personality and character has already been formed somewhere from the birth to about the age of 5 or 8 years old. They are who they're going to be when they get older. It's the brutally honest truth, whether we want to admit it or not. It's parenting. That's the core. That's at the core of these individuals. When I heard this morning that the children were second, third, fourth graders, I have 16 grandchildren, 1 great grandchild, and 6 children. I'm broken as a result of hearing this today. I am. I'm sort of beyond words now. These things should not be, but such is the world that we live in today. My words of encouragement to you today is this: keep your children, your grandchildren, close to you. And I don't mean physically in proximity. Keep them close to you, instructional wise. Teach them about life. Teach them proper ethics and how to navigate in the world in which we live properly. And don't let the video games do it. Don't let social media do it. Don't let the world do it, the neighborhood do it. You do it. You are the parent. Pray for everyone, because we actually are one people, irrespective of our personal beliefs, our religious beliefs, our ethnicity. We are one people. Really, it's getting to that point, ladies and gentlemen. I did a few videos some years ago. Are you prepared for hard times? We are in those times, and I even told you, I did not even allude to it. I told you we're in hard times. Look at all of these mass murders that are so close together. Look at the war in Ukraine. There's wars going on in other places in the world that you are not aware of as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the last days, and we all need to walk circumspectly. We do. And again, I encourage you, pray often, pray daily, for as much peace as we can possibly have during these times. And don't forget what I said. Keep your family close by your teachings. We should not be espousing hate toward or against anyone else. That's right. The strongest and most powerful emotion is love. It is. So I'm about to close. I just wanted to share my view. I don't believe stricter gun laws is going to make anything better. Metal detectors and security in schools, I mean, it's crazy that you would even have to get to that point. But if that is what's required, it should happen. But again, think about the freedoms that we're losing at the same time. Let me know what you think.